Could I have the smoked salmon out, please, my team? Fridge open. So we're going to make it today with carrot, cucumber, red capsicum, smoked salmon, and it's all in there ready for you to try. Thank you very much.
So the reason that I chose
This is my wife.
an example of a quinoa sushi is because sushi seems to be one of those things that are very much this is a lot about instinct. So some people can do it, other people just struggle a lot with it. So I thought if you had a bit of an alternative, it would be a bit easier to digest and people could enjoy it a lot more.
Okay, cool. You've got the recipe, and of course, being a chef, I always play around with recipes, right? But when I played around with this recipe last week, I noticed when it says put in slices of avocado, I actually mash the avocado with the quinoa, so it doesn't go everywhere when you're doing it, right? So the quinoa, you cook it, 1 cup of this, 2 cups of water, 12 minutes. Then you leave the lid on, keep it to the side. You don't want to wash this off because you need it to be a little bit gluggy because it's for the sushi, all right? So you let it cool down by itself. Make sure it's really cooled down. So I'll do a bit of quinoa. As I said, I just put the avocado in there and mush it up. I find it's a lot better. But you don't put it in this one of these things. In there I've also as well, I put some sushi seasoning, all right? Put in as much as you want, what you like. I like it quite sharp, so I put a little bit more. With that, and because you're using the soy afterwards, I don't put any seasoning in here at all. Just like the natural from the soy will go. That's nicely mushed together. It just actually helps a little bit, right? Who makes sushi at home by themselves? Yeah? Okay. This is your next play around with. You got the machine, have you? Okay. Brilliant. Easier now.
And how do people go with sushi generally? Has anyone tried it with sushi, quinoa instead of rice before?
Of course, you're just going to get a little tasting in a minute coming out.
What other things do you think you could put in there other than salmon? Tuna, tin tuna, egg. Yep. Lots of different protein options.
Normally people use water, right? So seal it up with the rice vinegar. Gives an extra little bit flavour to it, as well.
What made you think of sushi today? What was the thing that made you think people would like sushi?
Because some people really struggle with it, some people don't. So it was an option that's easier to digest because it doesn't have that gluggy rice in it. So you get white, you can get black, you can get red, or the tri-coloured one. I think maybe it's the tri-coloured today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we allowed to take them?
Yeah. Now here's a taste test, all right? So there you go. So how many of you make your own gravy at home, by the way? Yeah? Or a chicken before? Anybody? That's a long time. No. Would you like me to do bone one to show you? Because then the people who haven't made gravy before, I'll show you how to make a quick gravy using the bones and the vegetables and everything. Yeah? Cool? All right. So we'll go to the we'll do that first because the gravy has to cook a little bit. I have the one for later there, right? It's my little spatchcock, okay? Now, this excuse me. The recipe that I gave you is with spatchcock, but it can be anything, right? And what I'm actually giving you today is corn-fed chicken instead of just the normal Tegels or Stiegels or whatever chicken is in the market. Because the chickens on the market, though they're a very good price, they're a good price because they're added hormones and they're all tenderized. So that's why it's always moist and watery and everything, right? So what we're going to have today, which is sitting here, already prepared for you, because the table's a little bit there, I won't be able to bang out the chicken as well as I would like normally. So I'll just do a little bit of patchwork today. But when you use a corn-fed chicken, right, there's no hormones, there's no tenderizer. It's fed on corn, that's why the colour. But also the colours there has got a little bit of marigold powder in it. That actually keeps it all yellow. If they just fed them on corn, it'll be all blotches. So you would never get that nice looking yellowy flavour. Yellow colour, sorry. So when you try it later, you'll see the difference between a normal chicken and that. Because I'm just going to put them in here, these ones which are already put down, because I just want to poach them very, very slowly. All right? When I've done this for you, I've done it, as you can see today, I haven't used any butter, and this is not like me, but it's very good for you. All right?
Dietitian approved.
Yes. So I'm just going to let them poach away. All right? I'll put it back on later. But what I've done is this, I've actually taken the skin off as well. Why do I poach them? Retain the moisture, give you a nice better taste at the end of the day. I do sometimes where I keep the skin on, then do it like this and fry them in the pan with some garlic and thyme at the very end. But then you should take the skin off afterwards, all right? Skin isn't like in anything, is like, it's a moistener, you know. It's like a salmon. When you cook salmon, you should cook the salmon the skin side down, because the fat between the skin and the meat is actually, it's marinating the salmon as it cooks. So you don't really need excess, say, fat with it. Really. I'm okay with that? Cool. We had a talk about salt the last time we did it. The thing is about these little birds or big chickens, right? Spatchcock is very good. It's a little baby chicken, or it's called a poussin or whatever, right? So what I'm going to do is just debone it for you and show with the bones how to make a quick stock, right? And because I never make any at home, any powders or that, I just use my own stuff, right? So I fill up the freezer. So my wife and family are very happy if I'm overseas. So I just go in between the leg and the breast, knock it back. Just take it along the bone. I mean, it does take time, okay? I'm a bit faster, right? But I think I've done one or two in my time, right? So skin off. Take the blade down by the bone. Just follow the bone down. I would take off the bone as well, but I want the bone for more flavor. Okay. And hopefully this pot will work. When you do make it, right, I mean, a lot of you might just use the normal chicken when you make it, right? So you'll get a lot more gravy from it at the time, right? And when you make it all at a big batch at one time, right? Because what I do is I put everything into ice cube containers. I know. Thai Union. Bit of Thai there for you. All right, where's my oil? Okay, brown oil. I'm going to make a bit of a bang in a minute here. Just a little bit of oil, because you want to get their... this looks better gas than this one, doesn't it? Cool. Leave my little gravy there for the time being. Hidden things underneath. I'm just going to put the vegetables in that separately. What you want with the vegetables is you want them to caramelize. Caramelize meaning that when they break down, the natural sugars come out. So that's where all the flavoring is. And the best ones is carrot, onion, and leek. Some celery if you want as well, no problem. And of course, I don't use tomato paste. I actually use, you see the seconds tomatoes? I always buy them and chop them up and put little bags in the freezer. So I use that instead of tomato paste. So. But tomato paste is fine. It's just a chef. All right. When you debone the leg, right, just follow the leg like that, right, with the knife. You can take the bones and do them in the oven if you want, right? When you're